Edward, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
If you don't mind, give us a little idea of how you got into the nutrition business and what actually makes you a holistic health expert.
Well, I think I actually was born to do this. Somewhere around 10 years old, I remember very clearly my father had made an appointment with a lady to come to our house that sold Shaklee vitamins. Many of us older people remember that. And I was mesmerized by the conversation that I had listened to about the fact that the foods we eat and the nutrients we take can elevate our health, prevent disease, make us feel better, live longer. And this was in 1960s, and this was not a conversation that anyone had. And it just sparked something in me. And from that moment forward, I have spent my life studying the effects of nutrition and how to prevent and treat disease in the human body. This is not being taught in medical school, absolutely zero. So they don't have a toolkit to actually even converse on this. But COVID has been a blessing because it showed us the value of taking care of our body and what nutrients can actually do.
And so can you elaborate on that as far as nutrients that our body desperately needs? I know vitamin D is a big one.
Vitamin D is one of the biggest, but nutrition works like an orchestra, and that's where we have to have all the instruments really tuned up very well. And when you get a physical at the doctor, you're only checking a few things. They don't check any of the nutrient levels or anything else. So Father Time is cruel to us. One of the greatest side effects of our life is aging. And on nutritionw.com, I've written about 400 articles that relate to how to take care of ourselves as far as blood testing and nutrients and food choices. We live in a very confusing world when it comes to this conversation. Every expert seems to think they have the answers. But the real truth is we're not doing well in the country as far as aging. We live a long time. Many people live to be 80, but they actually died when they were 45 because they had such low quality of life. They just kept on breathing till they were 80.
Yeah, that's sad to hear it put that way, but you're absolutely right. A lot of people's quality of life is suffering because they don't feel that vitality. They have no energy, dealing with things like diabetes, all the things that come with being overweight. Very difficult. So I want to take a look at the nutrition realm, the industry itself. What kinds of trends and things did you see in 2020, and what do we see on the horizon in 2021?
Well, again, I will kind of repeat that COVID has been a disaster and a blessing, as most things in life is a mixture of those, not just one. And I have never seen in 43 years, that's how long I've been doing this, and I do live the life. I practice it every day with my nutrients. I take 72 pills a day. I do tremendous things in the gym, even at 63. But what I've seen with COVID is we now have been slapped in the face with the reality that what we eat and how we take care of ourselves not only makes us look better, it makes us live longer and not die from things like infections. The reason that the pandemic has been brutal to those who it is brutal to, which is generally those with 2 or more medical conditions. But being overweight, being low in vitamin D and other nutrients, and also having blood sugar irregularities are devastating to the immune system. Well, that comes from lifestyle and your foods and your nutrition. So it's opened the doors and windows of so many people to learn this. And actually, Google has changed the algorithms 2.5 years ago, so you really can't just go in and Google this. You have to learn from people you trust. And I do have a podcast called theholisticnavigator.com. I have 96 chapters on there, everything from hair loss to sleep issues to you name it, and also on how to get over sicknesses. And they're all 30 minutes long. So I'm an educator. I want people to learn how to take care of their own internal pharmacy. We have a pharmacy within. We need to access it through nutrition because taking it from the drugstore isn't going to do the same thing. That's where the side effects come in.
Edward, I have to go back to something you said about you take 72 pills a day. I know a lot of times as we age, you say, okay, I don't want to take pills, but you're talking about pharmaceuticals. But those 72 supplements or things that you take, what's that like? How many pills do you take in the morning? How do you break it up? And what are some of the most important? I mean, that number was shocking to me.
Well, I've done that since I was about 14. I figured I've taken about 860,000 pills. No one needs to do that, first off. I'm a self-acclaimed guinea pig. I love what I do, and I'm practicing longevity medicine, longevity nutrition. So I'm going to be, hoping to be feeling it like at 80 like I would at 40. Now, that doesn't mean everyone needs to do that. I came up with a thing, and I do take about 40 in the morning and about 25 at lunch and the rest at supper. And yes, it does get weary sometimes, I will be honest with you. But Core 4 is what I call it. When I've done this for 43 years and I start looking at the hundreds of people I counsel, thousands of people actually, I look at blood work a lot and I really delve into people's history. I came up with something that I don't care how you eat, where you are. If you're 40 plus years old, you need 4 different supplements, and it's called Core 4. You can read about it on nutritionw.com, Core 4. I have seen drastic blood sugar changes, drastic quality of life improvements with people who just do the right multivitamin, the correct green drink, big explanation why that's so important, the probiotics, and magnesium and omega-3. You have to have those quality products, not junky ones, and take the right dose. In 8 weeks, that is a game changer to people's health. So it's really called the Core 4, and it does not require a lot of money nor a lot of pills, and it will save people's quality of life and probably make them live several years longer.
I'm feeling pretty good right about now because you and I have never spoken before, but I have a green drink, I do probiotic, I do multi, and I do fish oil and magnesium and vitamin D, and that's it. So,
girl, you are on it.
I feel good. But I bet there's a lot more you can tell us about specifics and how, you have to know which probiotics work best for you. That's a whole nother discussion. What are some things that you can tell us? You look at a lot of products that come through your nutrition store, Nutrition World. What are some of the most popular unknown items that people need to get in their cabinet, their vitamin cabinet?
Well, thank you for that. And first off, I have to say, I want people to shop at their local owned nutrition stores. They're the people with the passion, the knowledge, the ethics. And secondly, when Amazon ships in heat and weather, like in the summer, your products are dead when you get them. NutritionW.com ships with ice packs and cold packs. And secondly, Amazon uses resellers. You don't know where the quality of that product is coming from. So saying that, your question about what are the ones under the radar that we really need to focus above the Core 4, I'm telling you, vitamin K is probably one of the greatest products that will help us not to have artery plaque and to help us to not lose our memory and help us not lose our bones. Vitamin K, and that's so important. I did a podcast on that with a Dr. Renee out of Canada on The Holistic Navigator. Anyone who listens to that, guaranteed you will be taking vitamin K the rest of your life. I love the herb ashwagandha because it lowers cortisol. Cortisol is, of course, the stress hormone. And this week alone, we probably all have a lot of that as normal. But ashwagandha helps you sleep better, helps you lose weight sometimes because cortisol keeps weight on you and also makes anxiety and depression worse. So ashwagandha is an amazing herb, been used for thousands of years. So there's a whole host of miracles that reside in our natural pharmacy that is grown on the earth. And 70% of the world uses botanical medicine, but not this country. And the reason they do, because it works, it's safe, and it's effective if you get the right product.
I really like talking with you today, Edward. Edward Jones, we appreciate it. Where can we hear more? The Holistic Navigator, right?
Right. The Holistic Navigator and NutritionW.com. You probably have 800 different articles by me that I've written, and I would love to be able to help people. That's my goal in life, is just to educate, not to sell, to educate. So please contact me through NutritionW.com or The Holistic Navigator.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Got a great guest I want to introduce you to next. His name is Jason Alpert with Alpert Enterprises. He's going to tell some of the magic behind fundraising. And I know that's something that a lot of nonprofits have struggled with as of late because we're in a pandemic. So we'll have more with Jason when we return.